Hello, everyone. How are you doing, guys? It's really nice to meet you all. For those people who don't know me, actually, I'm wEmko. And listen, first of all, I'm gonna clarify you something. Over this channel, I actually used to think a little bit more about creating something which is going to be, like related to the Web3 activities, NFTs, and everything in terms of that. So yeah, I got on the idea to create some sort of the YouTube channel, which is actually like going to be super helpful for us and for all people who are already like in NFTs, in Web3 space, or like the people who are just actually looking to, start with something with the sort of the, NFTs or something like that. So, listen, today I'm not gonna take much of the time. Basically today I would like to discuss and clarify the current situation about the market and everything like which is going accordingly to the market. Before that, I would like to give like the special shout out for the software, which actually like brought me like the insane T-shirt, which is actually like, let me just you see it. It looks really really clean. So special shout out for the software for onboarding like the ambassadors clothing, which is actually like looking super insane. And yeah, let's go to the video. So, as we are currently know that the market over the past few years has changed a lot, to be honest with you guys, we are talking about the market where everything is actually like looking, like bit, not the best comparing to the situation which was at the, for example, like 2022 year, like before the few years, before 3 or 4 years when NFTs and everything was on the fire. But actually, like it's understandable. At the end of the day, like people are switching out with new things, trying some new things. Unfortunately, the situation with NFTs, let's say the current market is not the best. I know from the personal perspective, where I see like how many projects are generally, like coming from the day to day. Mainly, we see like some movement over the side of the NFTs in terms of the other chains, such example for the Monad or like some sort of the chains like BNB, for example, which is cooking recently really good. Even the Sui chain, which was like I would say super active before a few years. So, uh, listen. In terms of that, we're gonna start with the sort of the NFTs which are actually like comparing to which are coming from the Solana. So first of all, we have like some real builders. If you remember the Mad Lads, which floor price was super crazy before, like I would say few years, like when the backpack just arrived and the wallet just arrived, the floor price of the NFTs was insane. It was above 100 Solana when the Solana was above $200. Like comparing to their actual thing. I would like to see like how the situation currently is going with them. Basically, I know that they realized like some super cool things with their current community. Yeah, in general, I have like few friends which are actually like like super quality Mad Lads holders, and I give them like special shout out for everything that they use to actually like build even the sort of the NFTs. Let's say, let's go for example like to see just with the NFT, like they're looking really really quality ones, and right now you can see like for how much like they were bought before. For example, you can see like this one was 75, 76 Solana, and right now unfortunately like it's selling at the floor price around, let's say, approximately you know above, let's say, like 2000, $2,500, something like that, which actually is understandable. At the current market, they are still like I would say one of the best performing NFTs at the current market. Special kudos for the my Mad Lads community. I have like few friends, as I already used to mention. So guys, please keep building, keep delivering, and like everything will come on the place. Something interesting I was looking at the current market were like some side collections which actually like are not OG. For example, like you have see like this G Boy badge, for example, like Gamba Dogs, Jelly Lore. Like these are all the collections which are actually like I would say launched at the recent time, but still they are like the real builders. For example, like famous foxes, which actually like is delivering from the day to day. And this is something really which is, I would say, on the one hand, separating them from the other projects, especially because, for example, for their consistency in building, we know that they have a like super successful raffle platform. I'm thinking that the long term, these guys gonna cook really well. I personally am not holding any sort of the famous foxes NFTs, but definitely makes me to buy one of them at a recent time. Like, because I love the vibes, I love the community that they are having currently, and of course, like the whole platform and the tickets that were like they have a, like, if you don't know, the famous foxes have got like the platform where you're able, let's say, to list your NFT, and the people are able to buy the tickets, for example, like with the price of the few bucks, few dollars, to participate for the raffle for your NFT, which is actually like, working really good. And from that idea, I think like we have like few communities and few projects. I think like it was the rafflers, yeah, exactly, like which are representing some sort of the, like 3 years raffled out, exactly like the DAO, which is actually working on the sort of the raffling from the famous foxes federation. But in general, I'm really in love with the famous foxes and everything like that they currently do and deliver. So guys, special shout out for you and for my friend Bruda, which is actually like the team member of the famous foxes. Then let me see a little bit more. We have got like the Claynosaurz. I seen that they have got some sick updates coming on soon, which is actually like, I remember these guys floating over like 30 to 40k floor price. Fortunately, the situation is not the best, but still they are performing as the one of the best NFTs, best NFT communities because of their delivering. You see, like they have something which is coming every new week. They're like coming with some news and some sort of the things which are super 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 reliable, and like the products which are based on the Web2 revenue share are, in my personal opinion, the future of the NFTs, if we are looking like that. So special shout out for the Claynosaurz. I've got like the friend over the Claynosaurz, the only will. By this time, I'm gonna give him a special shout out for everything we do and the cooperation that we had before. So, you see, like these sort of the projects. This is like the future, because, like, even though you think like what is going on with the why are like Web2 things super important for NFTs? Listen, the kid, for example, using case that you have the kid, would your kid like play with this sort of the fluffy Claynosaurz? Of course it would. Like, so you're gonna buy a tons of them to make him play, and all revenue goes back to community. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm really in love with the Claynosaurz and what they're building. So, really supporting them from maximum side and maximum like support. So even the art is looking super simple. Like the it's really nice to see that, for example, like they didn't do any sort of the improvement in terms of the art, because this is art which like marked a year before this, basically, like beautiful, beautiful. Then we have like the Froganas. What to say about them? Like the community, which I was thinking that not gonna survive. To be honest with you, at the start, there are so many, like things happening over them. We see that they have got even sustainable floor price, even with the, let's say, 20% of the listed NFTs over the community. But Frogana is really delivering. Like, I'm personally know with the founder of the Frogana, which is actually like super nice guy, and I would like to give him also like special shout out, like for everything that he is doing, because like it's not easy to handle project on your own, like to have everything like whole community, then to manage the team and everything, like, but this guy actually like used to achieve that. So special kudos for them. Like this is really really insane what they used to build. Even the art is looking like simple. I have seen like so many people rocking this sort of the art. I'm personally in love with the art. Probably if I'm gonna change any sort of the PFP, it would rather be like the Frogana or like famous foxes. Like, why I used to skip the gods is because, for first of all, like the gods a little bit disappointed me in terms of the switching of the chains when the Solana was like floating down. They did the smart move, but still, like for the real Solana maxis, the people don't like that, honestly. And I personally neither do like that because if you stick with the one chain, go with the one chain. You cannot switch one chain then get back to the chain when the situation is better. These are not the people who are real builders for me. But still, I'm not gonna fight them. I'm not gonna say anything bad about them. It's just that, for example, I'm really in love with the art of the V gods and everything, like what they did with the art upgrades from the like regular to the dead version of V gods. Really, a really nice thing, like what they did actually. In general, not gonna say anything bad of them. It's just that they disappointed me, and they were like one of my favorite collections, to be honest with you. But yeah, in general, these like top 10 collections are looking really, really nice at the current market. We see some movers, like, but still, like you can find some sort of the OG projects like Solana Monkey Business. Like what are the Solana Monkey Business? We see the OK Bears, we see like the Geckos, like so many promising projects from our side. So in terms of the NFTs and situation in Solana, I would say that the NFTs have got definitely the chance to come back in the next bull run. So I'm looking forward to like see some great movements over the next few months with the sort of the NFTs, especially over the Solana. So this is related for the NFTs, and now we're gonna continue like with analyzing the market from the perspective of the Web3 workers. So, guys, as we used to talk about the, sort of the NFTs and situation in general, how is it looking? How is it performing? I would like to touch the base a little bit with you about the current situation, which is actually like, happening with the general situation of the people who are looking up to work over the Web3, who are like some sort of the collab managers, who are sort of the moderators, and the people willing to find the jobs. Listen, the situation is, I would say, generally looking at the Solana and everything, like it is not the best, and we all know that. But something I would like to say is, for example, like the people are nowadays looking over to hire only the reliable people, which are, I would say, trusted and proven from the past periods. Like I'm sadly to say this, but unfortunately, like when you have got someone who's actually like legit and proven before from the communities and people, it's most likely that they're gonna hire him rather than you who are like just coming to the space, you are just learning the things, but they are still like some sort of the projects which are willing to offer you, for example, like some sort of the trial work, then you prove yourself, then you can work, and etc etc. The main issue of this space nowadays is unfortunately that the founders are not looking over to build the projects, unfortunately, by their own selves. They are just like relying on the one or two persons which are like, first of all, I used to work as the collab manager, and I would say I'm still like some sort of that guy. But if you are hiring, let's say, for example, using case collab manager, it doesn't mean that this collab manager is going to sell out your projects, because there is a big difference between the people who are working as the sale managers and the people who are working as the collab managers. Use in case that the collab managers are the people who are onboarding you potential investors, which are seeing the project, and if they are interested and willing to invest in the project, if they see the potential that you as the founder are going to deliver that, this is the way to make it. Like some people are asking me like, wEmko, how you can help out, how you help to sell so many projects, etc etc. It's simple. I don't work with everyone. This is the first point that you need to clarify, that the people who are actually like worth to work with, like if you're coming here offering something, for example, like, okay, we're gonna offer you something huge, but you help us out. Okay, let's put the things on the and cards on the table. Let's see what you have got, what are you actually looking to build, and how the things are achievable. And like at the end of the day, I love to be realistic with the people. If I don't see the potential project, we're not gonna work out over there. So basically, like the founders should definitely take a look a little bit more and get a little bit more, uh, I would say, connected with the space. Because if you're the founder, this is my friendly suggestion, something I have seen like over the past years. Like, how are you managing to sell out the project? It's super simple, but what you need to do, you need to connect with the people. You need to connect with the other founders. You need to discuss with them, to approach the Twitter spaces, to find every single like way that you are able